The European Commission has unveiled its new Single Market, or European Home Market in an Uncertain World strategy, emphasizing a push for more effective digitalization to streamline business operations across the EU. Electronic invoicing is set to play a pivotal role in the transformation, aiming to make cross-border trade more seamless, enhance tax transparency, and accelerate digital adoption. The strategy advocates for a shift from document-based to data-based obligations, replacing fragmented systems with interoperable real-time digital processes. Upcoming legislative proposals, likely including updates to the e-invoicing framework, are expected to align with the VITA proposals. To combat administrative fragmentation, the Commission is aligning its intent to streamline obligations, potentially through a common EU invoicing framework for B2B transactions, along with strengthened alignment with PEPL-based exchanges, and simplified compliance for SMEs via centralized portals for a forthcoming SME ID tool. The smart regulation approach aims to reduce red tape, mandate machine-readable invoicing formats EU-wide, and improve cross-border interoperability for e-signatures and EIDs, facilitating automated VAT checks and fraud prevention. Businesses are urged to prepare as the first digital omnibus package is expected in Q3 2025, with further legislative proposals impacting invoice data anticipated through 2026. E-invoicing is no longer merely a tax requirement, but a business imperative for a truly interoperable and digital single market. The Bulgarian National Revenue Agency, NRA, released a draft order for public consultation outlining the structure, format, content, and submission method for the Standard Audit File for Tax, otherwise known as SAFTI. This move is part of Bulgaria's strategy to enhance tax compliance and streamline audits. SAFTI is planned for phased implementation, starting with large enterprises in January 2026 and gradually becoming mandatory for all other businesses over the next 5 years. The draft order and technical specifications are available on NRA's official website. Stakeholders and interested parties can submit their feedback via email to saf_t_bg@nra.bg until June 9, 2025. The Dominican Republic Tax Authority, DGII, announced a 6-month extension for the electronic invoicing implementation deadline for large, local, and medium-sized taxpayers. The original deadline of May 15, 2025 has now been moved to November 15, 2025. The Eswatini Revenue Service, ERS, issued a public tender for partners to develop a new national e-invoicing system. The initiative marks a significant step in modernizing Eswatini's tax administration, which introduced VAT in 2012. The proposed system is expected to adopt a 5-corner model similar to that of EU's PEPL framework. So this model involves the supplier, their service provider, the buyer's service provider, the buyer, and the tax authority in this case, which is the ERS. It aims to enhance interoperability, improve tax compliance, and reduce fraud through structured electronic invoicing exchange and validation. Businesses operating in or with Eswatini should closely monitor the development, as it will significantly impact how transactions are processed and reported to the tax authority. The target go-live date currently stands to be January 1st, 2028. France advanced its mandatory B2B electronic invoicing reform with the publication of initial technical specifications by the DG FIP. These documents, stemming from AFNOR-led standardization efforts, are a foundational step towards the mandate's launch for large enterprises in September 2026. The newly released specifications include data model definitions aligned with the European EN 16931 standard, an introduction to the French-specific extended CTC F4 profile, and details on lifecycle status messages and interoperability for public and private platforms. This provides a clear technical baseline for platform and software compliance, supporting France's unique continuous transaction control features, while also aligning with broader EU e-invoicing goals. Further documentation, including detailed use cases and standardization of APIs, is expected before the end of May, providing more insights for PDP certification and readiness. Latvia's parliament is currently considering a proposal to postpone the nationwide e-invoicing mandate for commercial companies by 1 year. The mandate, originally set to take effect on January 1st, 2026, would require all businesses to adopt structured electronic invoicing. If approved, the postponement would shift the deadline to January 1st, 2027, providing businesses and software providers additional time for preparation and proper implementation. The proposal has been referred to the Budget and Finance Committee for further review. The scope of the pilot for Nigerian businesses is still set for July 1st, 2025, for large businesses, with the scope being B2B, B2G, and B2C. The adoption of People-based billing 3.0 was highlighted for international interoperability, and the system would provide the tax authority with real-time visibility into transactions, therefore, of course, strengthening VAT enforcement. A new requirement for mandatory pre-approval of B2B and B2G invoices by the FERS before they're sent to buyers was added, and for B2C transactions, the 24-hour reporting remains. Furthermore, businesses are now required to use accredited service providers capable of applying advanced electronic signatures for invoice authentication, adding that vital layer of security. Oman's tax authority officially signed an agreement on May 12th with Oman telecommunications company Omantel to implement a nationwide e-invoicing system. This strategic partnership marks a significant step in Oman's digital transformation and its efforts to modernize the national tax framework. Poland's Ministry of Finance released a new draft schema, FA3, for its national e-invoicing system, KSEF. This updated structure is an important step towards the mandatory e-invoicing rollout. The FA3 schema, which follows an April round of consultations with stakeholders, is set to replace the previous version in January 2026. The mandatory use of KSEF is scheduled to begin February 1st, 2026 for larger taxpayers, with other businesses following April 1st, 2026. This release provides businesses and software providers with the latest technical specifications needed to prepare for Poland's digital invoicing transformation.